Hey everybody, Grimble here. Welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be reacting to My Adventures with Superman, Episode 7. So to say I'm looking forward to this one would be an understatement. I really enjoyed the last episode. It was a lot of fun. There were so many things that worked about that episode, especially in regards to the relationship building with Clark and Lois. I tended to mention it at length in my last discussion. It was a very long discussion, almost as long as the episode itself. I wasn't intending for that. I just had so much to say about it. I was very pleased with the episode. I enjoy the direction this series seems to be taking. I really enjoy the characters and their humor, and I love the fact that it seems like Jimmy and Lois are finding out really early on that Clark is Superman and he's not going to have to hide it this entire time. It's all very exciting concepts to me, and I'm really looking forward to seeing what comes of it. I'm also looking forward to seeing what comes of this general. I've mentioned my predictions in previous reactions of him being General Lane, Lois's father. I've also mentioned that I think this technology might be somehow related to Darkseid, and I think that might be where it's going. Could be wrong about that, though. But it definitely feels Kryptonian or alien, because it seems like Clark is having a lot of flashbacks when he sees it. Although the flashbacks he's having seems to be flashbacks from Earth, maybe? I don't know. There was also a war with a bunch of guys shooting lasers at each other, so that could have been Krypton as well. So, anyways, I do think there is a lot to come of that pretty soon. Hopefully we get to have some answers as to what this technology is, where it comes from, and who's responsible for it. And also finding out who the general guy is, because I have a feeling, I think I'm right. We'll see. Don't tell me, because I know you guys know, those of you who are caught up with the show, but I'm pretty sure on this one, guys. Anyways, I don't want to keep this intro too long because I'm really excited to get into the episode. So with that said, let's get started with My Adventures with Superman, Episode 7. If you guys are interested in signing up to my Patreon, you'll be able to take advantage of ad-free content, 3 to 4 weeks early access to all reactions, which for the middle tier and above can include the full-length watch-along reactions. Those that subscribe to the highest tier will also be supporting my game and animation studio, Little Grim Entertainment. You'll have access to a sneak peek look at all of our upcoming games and animated shows.
No more secrets, right?
Right.
So...
Oh.
Here's the rest of me.
Jimmy.
It's a ship, Lois. It's a spaceship.
It's a dream come true for him.
They're obelisks. They project holograms and transport material.
He's writing it.
Lois Lane, will you go on a date with me?
Aww.
Jimmy! You can help me chart out the dates.
What?
Doesn't look like he slept at all.
So I've plotted a route and timed it because I'm taking Lois out for the most romantic evening of her life.
Oh boy.
For an 8 p.m. reservation, then coffee at 9.
He's lost it.
First move is to make a flowchart?
And a map.
See, I love this. I love that he's just flying around and using his abilities in front of Jimmy. It's so fun.
I'm gonna go hang out at Lois's where it's normal and...
Yeah.
Nope, she's
He's doing the same thing.
I think I figured out the perfect gift for Clark. I can't fly or fight robots, but investigating, finding answers, this is what I can do. I've started my research, gonna crush it, and I'm ready to meet Clark 10 minutes early. I'm perfect.
You look ready.
Sweatpants!
Yeah.
in there.
Oh, I left my dress at the dry cleaners.
Uh-oh. Boy. Of course. Robots attacking?
I can do this. It's just me and Lois. And no weird Superman stuff to ruin it.
Yeah, right. You just jinxed it, buddy.
Super.
Oh.
I'm Mr. Mix's Piddlick.
Oh.
I need your help.
Uh-oh. Yeah.
Nope.
Don't teach me the safety of the multiverse, son.
Yeah, sure.
Clark is Superman in almost every reality. This Earth, Earth 12, Earth
Oh, yes! I love the throwback.
Was I a crab?
There are infinite universes out there, pal, and infinite Superman. You're Lois Lane. She's been kidnapped by a gang of interdimensional criminals. These people, they're ruthless.
Whatever it takes to save Lois.
Don't trust a Mixelpidalic.
You're the dependable Clark. Now let's go.
Always up to no good. Is he gonna have to say his name backwards 3 times?
No response.
Good. That gives me time to change.
Oh. Hello, robots.
Lois Lane and Jimmy.
Oh, maybe not robots.
12, you need to come with us. Lois Lane?
Oh.
Lois Lane. That's Lois Lane, and that's Lewis Lane.
Where are we? Hey, are you okay?
I'm fine, just not as strong as I used to be.
Welcome to the flagship of the
Oh,
Interdimensional
boy.
Peacekeeping Force, the League of
Jimmy's having a day.
We were founded by Lois Prime, the
Oh,
first
cool.
Lois to discover the multiverse.
Nice.
We protect every dimension.
Oh, boy.
Which Lois are you?
My name's Jelena Olsen, and unfortunately, I'm you.
Many Olsens are also part of the League.
His
This
face.
is Mixus Pidalic. He calls himself a chaos god.
Yep.
But as we were taking him in, a portal opened to a previously unknown universe.
If I ever get my hands on the jerks who helped that gorilla and the brain open that stupid.
Oh, no. Oopsies.
We tracked Mixie here, and now your Clark and Mixie are missing.
Seems like they know Mix well enough to know that he's probably tricking Clark.
I'll do what I do best: investigate. Ow!
Ow. Or that.
Excellent.
That works
Once
too.
the scanner analyzes your dimension's tachyons, we'll be able to find your Clark.
Oh, that's what you needed.
Oh.
Good, great. If it helps Clark, then.
I wanted to do some investigating.
In the meantime, make yourself
Hmm.
just not in there.
Oh. Sparked Lois's curiosity. You guys should know better than that. You are her.
Wait, are you robbing this place?
No, of course not. We're robbing this place.
Oh, that's Dr. Fate's helmet.
Lois was never in danger.
Tape
was she?
recorder? That's what he wanted?
Lois was never in danger.
Surprise.
I lied. But you're not the quickest guy from planet Krypton.
Oh.
What, Krypton?
Is that how he finds out?
Stop! You are going to put that back, and I will turn you over to whatever authorities deal with you. And then Lois and I are going on a perfect, normal date.
Normal? You are never going to be normal. It is your fate to always be different.
Oh, man.
And you may be stronger than me, but can you stop me? I think I'm less than I was, but strong enough for one last trick.
Oh, boy.
No.
I thought now would be a perfect time to get some footage for my next Flamebird update.
Wait, you're a flame bird?
Oh.
All the Olsens in the multiverse. I've never met another one. Comet. The telepathic horse has many names.
Yep.
All right.
I guess she can get in because she's Lois. We think they like have a way to tell between Loises or something.
Everybody downstairs.
Uh-oh.
We found Mixie and Clark. They just jumped to Earth 14 after robbing Earth Prime Space and Superhero Museum.
You know he'd never do something like this.
Yeah.
Maybe you don't know Superman as well as you think you do.
What did their Supermen do?
All we have to do is wait for them to show up.
Wait for who to show up?
Right on cue.
Neutralize the Kryptonian. He's too powerful to give the benefit of the doubt.
No, I
Uh-oh.
won't let you do this.
We know.
Aw.
You didn't grab us to help you.
Lois, you're not League material.
No.
You're enough like us to cause problems.
Well, if it isn't Lois, and what's his name?
Lewis.
It's him! Fire!
Oh. Oh, growing out of him.
Clark!
No,
Ouch.
I thought we
Yeah.
I'm sorry. What?
Gone.
Spread out! He still has some of his illusion powers. We don't stop until we find.
Aye. Man. That got him through it real fast.
Yes, and Mixie lived happily ever. Oh, come on! Caught by participation trophy, Lois.
Oh, man. That's rough.
Wait, League headquarters.
Uh-oh.
Where it is?
I don't, but Lois Prime did, which is why I nabbed her recorder. You're not gonna try to stop me.
The other Loises are hiding something from me about Superman. So, you're gonna take us to HQ, and I'm gonna find out what it is.
You met a legion of yourself, and the first thing you did was suspect them of lying? Lois Prime would have loved you.
What does that say about you?
Now I know which Lois you are. You're the fun one!
The best kind. Oh, there she is. Where's Tim?
This place is beautiful.
It's a little pretentious.
A
in my
little.
opinion.
I was saying that's a little.
There you go. The knowledge of the multiverse at your fingertips.
Go nuts.
This is a file? How does it work? What am I supposed to do with this?
Oh.
Sorry, Fun Lois. It's been real. But it's now time to take back what's...
Oh, it's the hat. Oh, I love the little throwbacks.
I'm back!
That doesn't seem good.
Oh, look. It's the League of Loser Lanes getting in my way.
Lois,
No, he's got the hat!
Oh. Clone Jutsu.
I'm so glad you're okay. I'm sorry I ruined our date.
No.
No, Lois, this is my fault. I ruined it before it even started.
No, I'm sorry.
Lasers all in the background.
I love going on adventures with you, Clark.
I love your brilliance.
I love your kindness.
I love...
Aww. Where'd the fireworks come from? He's having a good time.
I have an idea.
Ooh. Ooh. Ouch.
You're not strong enough to best me.
But I am strong enough for one last trick.
Nice. Yes. I'll take that. How did they know that portal would go there? Okay. What happens if Lois puts on the hat? Nice.
It's over, Mixie. As for you three, where did they go?
Sorry, Captain. They grabbed a gauntlet while we were busy.
That's a little convenient.
Put this one in confinement and call it a
A
day.
little convenient. Aww. Way to go, Janet Olsen.
Yes, you can always trust the
Denise?
flame bro to have your back. Oh, I'm so tired. Better go.
Aw. Attaboy, Jimmy. There's a wingman.
So, Lois, I was thinking...
Aww.
Smallville?
Coffee's good. Let's do coffee.
Huh. How do you work?
There you go. Oh. Yeah, not so good, Superman.
Have you figured it out yet?
Oh boy.
Weren't you in jail?
I was. It didn't take. Just like not every Lois wins a Pulitzer.
Not every Superman is good.
Oh, kryptonite.
What is it?
Sorry. It'll be much more fun to watch you figure it out.
Man.
Ta-ta.
Oh boy. Okay, so that was episode 7 of My Adventures with Superman. another fun episode, guys. I'm really enjoying this series. It's been a lot of fun so far, and it was especially fun to see the moments that I was excited for. I had mentioned it in the last reaction. I couldn't wait to see Clark being Clark in front of Jimmy and Lois. You know, not afraid to use his powers, and that's what he was doing in this episode. He was just flying around without a thought in the world. He wasn't trying to hide it. He wasn't even thinking about it. He was just, focusing on this plan he had for him and Lois's date. He was trying to plan it all out very specifically with these notes and a map even on the ceiling, and he flew up there and it was drawing stuff on it. That was just wonderful. That is what I want to see from a Superman show. It continues to build the relationships between Clark, Lois, and Jimmy in a very casual way and a fun way. And it's not something we've ever really seen before from any Superman film or show. And I am just thrilled that that's happening with this show. And I also love, one of the first things he decides to do is bring them to the Kent farm and show them his ship. And it just shows the level of commitment that he's decided to just go all in with this. No secrets, like he said. I wish we could have seen them interact a little bit with the Kents. That would have been fun, but it's okay. I'm sure that will come at some point. But yeah, he just showed them everything about him. No more secrets, no more lies, everything transparent. And that must feel like a big weight off of his shoulders. It must feel really, really good. Now, of course, that secret's going to come with a lot of burden for them. Knowing the secret, it's going to be challenging. There's going to be people that are after them, after Clark, that try to get to him through Lois and Jimmy. I'm sure we'll see that happen, but that's okay. They're going to be in it together, and they'll overcome whatever obstacles get thrown in their way, and they'll do it in a really fun way, kind of together as friends and romantic partners or whatever they become. I'm just really excited for it. It's turning out to be everything I was hoping it would be as a Superman show, and I'm loving every minute of it. Now, of course, we also got to see Mxyzptlk. I always struggle saying his name, and I think that's the intent. It's not supposed to be easy. He's another common Superman villain, another fun one. He was even in the Bruce Timm animated series, which they, by the way, I loved that they alluded to it. You saw the version of him as the Bruce Timm drawing, and that was just such a nice throwback, along with all the other old school Superman you saw as well. You saw the old Bruce Timm version of Lois, too, as she's walking through the League of Loises, which is kind of funny because it was like a Rick and Morty style, the Mortys, But yeah, so far I can just tell there's a lot of love going into this show and this series, and a lot of respect for the history of Superman as well. As they continue to do, their own thing, which is perfect, which is great, and I'm so happy they're doing something different. But they're also respecting who the character is at his core. And that is so important to me, and I think that they're just doing a fantastic job with it so far of illustrating who Clark Kent really is at his core. Yeah, it was fun to see Mxyzptlk. In the previous incarnations, in the Bruce Timm universe, he was trying to get Clark to say his name backwards 3 times, or get him to say it or spell it or whatever 3 times backwards, which was kind of a fun little episode. He kept Clark kept tricking him, which showed Clark's intelligence in the matter. And it was just fun. He would mark off the day in his calendar. It was like, oh, he's coming back. And it would always just frustrate him to no end. It's a similar vibe here. Mxyzptlk is obviously this crafty, very devious deity, whatever he calls him. He calls himself the god of chaos. But it is cool that, because he is the perfect character to introduce the concept of the multiverse to this Superman, because he is sort of a multi-dimensional being, and so he should be able to easily travel between worlds. Now, I am surprised that they're going with the multiverse so early. That seems really early on to introduce it and to have the characters going to different universes and meeting alternate versions of themselves. does seem really early on, but hey, if I've learned anything about this series, it's that they're not afraid to kickstart things early on and get to story points that we probably wouldn't see till much later on. And what I love about that is now we have the time to explore all these ideas and concepts rather than feeling kind of rushed through it on an episode by episode basis. So yeah, the League of Loises was really interesting. It was also interesting that all of their Supermen seemed to be terrible, terrible Supermen. The ones that destroy, wreak havoc. You know, it makes me wonder if some of it might be a little twisted. The perspective, all we got was the video, obviously, of Superman terrorizing and destroying buildings, and he didn't look too kind, but, there's maybe another story going on, or maybe it is true and it is a terrible Superman. But of course, they're not all going to be terrible. There's going to be some that are just like their Clark. So it'll be interesting to see how they spin this. Will they introduce other Clark Kents? I really hope they bring back the Bruce Timm Clark. That would be really cool to see him sort of come back and maybe even be voiced by either Tim Daly or, somebody that voiced him in the past would be really, really cool. But, getting ahead of myself, if it doesn't happen, I'll be sad, but I'll be okay. But either way, I really like the idea that maybe they'll get to visit other Clarks, other Supermen as well. Opening up this multiverse just opens up, for lack of a better term, a world of possibilities. All sorts of options that they could play with and have fun with the stories. And it makes me wonder if this is going to take on more of a Rick and Morty feel to the show, where they're traveling as a group to these different locations and maybe even different universes and going through these adventures together as a team rather than things sort of constantly happening on their Earth, which is the norm for most Superman stories. Maybe they go out and travel the universe and other universes together. That would be kind of cool. That'd be fun and different. But either way, like I said, I love Clark and Lois's relationship taking the next step. I'm glad to see they didn't dwindle on the lie too long. They just kind of wrapped it up. She realized why he did it. All's forgiven. It seems like they're right back where they left off with their romance and even taking the next step. It was also nice to see the alternate version of Janice, I can't remember the name exactly. But it was also nice to see that the Jimmy of their world was the one that sort of came through for them at the end. Always Jimmy being the good core person at heart that sort of holds the group together. That's just Jimmy to a T. It was great to see that the Jimmy was the one that let them through, let them back home. And of course, our Jimmy slipped away like a good wingman should do in the moment when Clark and Lois just needed a moment to themselves. And that was just absolutely awesome of Jimmy. Finally, he's learning. He's being a good wingman now. So it's good to see that he's sort of evolved from the guy that felt like he was being left out, or the third wheel. And, and probably a lot of it is because he knows Clark's secret now and everything's out in the open. So he does feel the closer bond with them. And I think he can kind of be like, okay, they can have their time now. I feel like we're close and I'm not getting left out anymore. And of course, at the end, Lois gets the news that not all Supermen are good and then is given some kryptonite from this file, which is interesting. I don't know how this is going to evolve, except the obvious prediction is there will be a moment where she's either being deceived to think that Clark has turned and is evil now and feels like she needs to use it on him, or something does actually happen to Clark and she's forced to use it on him for real and stop him. Kind of like there was a moment in the Bruce Timm series where Clark was sort of reprogrammed or hypnotized by Darkseid and to believe that he was Darkseid's son, and then his job and goal was to conquer Earth. And so he came in with this big army and started wreaking havoc on Earth as Superman. And of course, the world had a really hard time forgiving him for that. Eventually he came back to his senses and went back to being Superman. but the world had a hard time forgiving him for that. And that's actually when Cadmus Labs kind of shifted gears on him and decided to go with Amanda Waller, and the whole thing went off after that, and they were wanting to protect the world against Superman from that point forward and have a backup plan in case he went rogue again, right? So I could see a similar thing happening in this show where for some reason Lois is forced to use that kryptonite, or maybe give it to her father, right? If that is General Lane, and for some reason Superman seems to be proving like he could be a threat, she could willingly give that to her father to take him down. And that'll cause quite a rift in their relationship, I imagine. Now, of course, I'm just predicting in the future just based on my knowledge of Superman and the past and stories that are familiar to me, and the way I see things going with the kryptonite that Lois has received. But please do not tell me if I am right or wrong. I would love to find out for myself. These are just fun predictions that I can later look back on and go, I was way off, or maybe I was right. Who knows? We'll see. But that's just part of the fun of watching shows, making your predictions, and seeing if they come to pass or not. We also got a little glimpse into some sort of superhero museum, I guess is what they said it was. I know I saw Dr. Fate's helmet there. There was a ring that was there. I think they may have said it was a ring of time. I don't know if it was the ring from the League, or it's hard to say. But it was really cool seeing all those little tie-ins and throwbacks to different superheroes. And it makes me wonder if we're ever going to see any of them. That'd be really cool. Yeah, guys, what did you think about the episode? Please continue on the conversation in the comments. Tell me how you feel about this relationship between Lois and Clark. Do you also agree that it's fun to see it this early on? It's fun to see Clark sort of being himself around Lois and Jimmy, and not really having to have that burden, that weight of hiding a secret constantly through the entire series. Of course, he's still going to be hiding it from other people, but it's just nice and that there's an outlet in this show where he can just be himself. So I'm just curious, do you guys agree with that? Do you guys like that direction that they took with Superman? Or do you think maybe they should have held on to it a little bit longer, right? Played the game a little bit longer like a lot of the other Superman universe shows and films do. Personally, I'm enjoying this fresh new take. So, and as always, guys, please like this video if you enjoyed the content today. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already done so. And please check out my Patreon. There's a lot of great stuff there. Ad-free content, full-length reactions to all of the series that I'm doing. I'm usually about 3 weeks ahead on every series. So if you guys want to catch up to where I currently am, you can do that over there. And with that all being said, it was a fantastic episode. Really loving the series. I can't wait for the next episode. And I'll see you all in the next reaction.